Hi, it's Nancy with Garden Scroll, and today we'll be going into the May 26, 2018 garden, and we're moving right along. I've been getting quite a bit of the posts on while I'm recuperating from having knee replacement surgery. I've had some ongoing distress with that, but the pain has always felt like a complete distressing to my whole being more than just in my knee. So I'm having quite a bit of struggle with that, but I'm moving forward, and the garden is really, when I played back the pictures or the little clips from last year, I could see how much fuller it is and how it's getting so lush and pretty in the garden. So I hope you really enjoy our garden posts today and all of them as we go through the year. Hi, it's Nancy with a Scroll in the Garden, and I wanted to show you a little bit more. I tried to do this earlier, still in my robe, and batteries and insufficient room on my card, and whatever could happen did happen. So here we are trying this again. And I thought I would do it while I'm actually clean, because I'm fixing to go inside and get my gardening clothes on and come out here and just be filthy. Yesterday I worked right up until after dark. Not dark, but after dark. And then of course I still had to go inside and do laundry and several things before I could go to bed. So I'm tired, and I know you're probably tired of hearing about me being tired. But that's the way it is. But the garden is looking beautiful this morning, and I'll show you a little bit more of that later. So I thought I would also show you my other rose. This is the knockout rose, and it's really looking pretty this morning, and the sunlight shining on it. It's just helping it to look even more pretty. And then of course my husband just got the one of the pretty orange rose bush. It's looking good too this morning. This one here. Well, here we are coming up on a Memorial Day weekend, and I'm not ready. I haven't even bought the flowers to put on the grave sites, but we're gonna see what the garden looks like this morning. I did purchase some more items for the garden this year, and they're in the process of all coming in, and so I'm in the process of planting. I planted yesterday, and I thought, oh, finally I got that all done. And then I realized that the things that came in little bags that were just roots, I hadn't gotten at all. So that bag was still in the house. But I'll try to get around to that today. And also I had a friend come over that wanted some little starts, so we did that. But I wanted to show you how things are coming along in the garden. Oh, look at this bacopa in this little pot right here. Come down. And zone in on this pretty little pink bacopa. I hope it does well for me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Right now that looks very pretty. A nice time of the morning to just listen to the birds and look at the pretty flowers. I was so busy yesterday I could hardly look up, but today it's going to be another busy day actually. And then I've got to get ready for a graduation. Not tonight, but it'll be coming up real soon. So another exciting time. this one is looking good so far. Thank the Lord. But some of these, see if I can find one. I've replaced some of these because of snails. Can't believe this tiny little coleus leaf is struggling along here. I did not think that was going to last at all, but it's trying. I think it's rooted by now because it's not wilted at all. I'm looking at the impatiens because the snails and roly-polies, that's just their favorite, I think. It's got that little watery stem. I'm sure they think, oh, this is so juicy. But okay, there you go. There's one of them, that one right down there. That probably a snail has taken that one's little life away. So that's not good. But I'm grateful for the ones I've still got, and hopefully I'll find some way to get a handle on those things so that they don't go ahead and kill everything out. This little sign says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. And that's certainly what I do in the garden, because when I water especially, I just start singing praises to the Lord out here. Look at these beautiful little creamsicle colored impatiens, so pretty. And I replaced the impatiens in this pot due to snails also, and they're still not looking very good. I wish they would just really fill that pot out and just really just to show you how pretty these two go together, this coleus and this impatient. But I probably should hurry along a little bit, but then again, I don't want to hurry this morning. I got up a little bit earlier than I normally do so I could come out and get a little bit. I haven't put any on my YouTube channel in a couple of days or more, so I wanted to show you some of the changes. And one of the changes, these I planted from just a little root. This is that lady's mantle, and they're coming up for me, which is wonderful. Right back there is a couple of the new little things. If you can see that little tatting fern, and then I had that little hosta, and then right behind it is another little fern that I'm trying. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I had to put the other camera on a battery charger. So, don't you just hate it when you get stuff ready to go get up early and do something, and then part of what you need is not charged or ready to go? Which, that could be me. That most usually I'm the one not charged and ready to go. But, okay, this is the little tatting fern, and the next one is the little hosta, and then right behind it is my new fern. So I have, like I was beginning to say, I have not had luck with ferns at all. These are some hardy ferns, supposedly, so we'll see. Hopefully I will begin to have some luck with some ferns and get them going. I like the pretty green. I tried to get my friend a little start off of this beautiful hosta, but I just was too tired, and it's going to have to be all pulled up and separated, and that's going to be for a time in the spring when it's still a new baby and easily done, or much easier done than when it's full. All I did was break leaves off of mine. But anyway, I don't remember actually if I've even shown you my begonias. I may have, but let me just do that again. There's this, let's see, this little begonia right here I saved over winter. This little begonia is a new one. It's called Autumn Embers. Yeah, I can't remember the name of this one, but I love it. It looks scraggly right now, but hopefully it will fill out and do well because it's so pretty. And then this little one right here, I got it from Logie's, and it's called Polymer Prints. And I had one time, and I knew I couldn't do house plants, so I gave it to my nephew, who really can do house plants, but even he didn't save it, so I was a little reluctant to get another one, but I just kept thinking of it. Isn't that pretty? I don't know, something about the two different greens and then the curly leaves, and just the thing that it's called a Polymer Prints, which reminded me of my nephew Clifton anyway, because he can do houseplants so well. It's like the prints of the houseplants. But anyway, I'm going to try it again. I've gotten a little better to be able to save them over winter. I saved this one over winter too, so hopefully I'll be able to do that. I just started putting less water on them each time and letting them dry completely out, or just right next to completely out, before you put water on them again. But it's just amazing how much time and effort a garden can be. It just amazes me every day when I'm so tired after working in it. But like I say, it's always rewarding, but it's those rewarding times that are just so much better than those times when you just work so hard and struggle with it. I don't think there's anything going to come back in this pot here except those pretty little celotias, but I'll probably put some seed in that. And then this one, I put that little seedling of that silver sage, so I hope it will do well for me. But that's pretty much how the front's coming along. These two right over here are my, this one and this one are my new hibiscus for this year from Logie's, and they're always so pretty. One of them was called Delta Dawn, I believe, and the other, I can't remember. I ordered a Black Dragon, but one of them didn't come in, and I can't remember for sure which one that one is. So, but anyway, I've been noticing some changes in the garden. It just changes daily. But one of the things I've noticed is not necessarily a good thing, because it was the bloom, the insects that eat the bloom. They look kind of like a ladybug, only they're green with little black dots, and they're definitely not ladybugs. They're harmful bugs. Oh, isn't this pretty this morning? So I'm going to go ahead and hurry along here and take you in the back some and see what's going on back there. Look at these little volunteer petunias. They're just looking so good. And I planted some more in there. I hope they will do well too. And then its little mate, there's the larkspur, the little matching pot down here. It didn't have any petunias in it, so I'm waiting for the little ones that I put in there to come up, which hopefully they will. Look at this little tiny moth. I know it's a teeny tiny little thing, but mercy, is that colorful or what? I don't believe I've ever seen this same little moth before. So that's pretty interesting today too. Thought I'd share that with you. Okay, this is the other little beetle I was telling you about that is just destructive, so destructive. they just eat the bloom right off. Not that these little blooms are going to make it anyway, but oh my, look at that right down inside there. They're just eating it off. And here is the other. These two little bugs you do not want in your garden. They want to kill your blooms. It's Nancy with a stroll in the garden. Good morning, it's Nancy with a stroll in the garden. And I started this yesterday. My husband was putting this swing up for me, but it's so good to have it back up. This is my main place to sit and just look out at the garden when I get a chance to sit down. It gives me the biggest view I have of the garden to see the most of it all at once. And I've about reached the time where I'm finished with my pots. I had pretty much something in each one, but this one and this one right here I already had finished, but I did go ahead and there's like this little girl, this little angel one right here, just has seeds and some volunteers excuse me, from last year. And the little one that volunteered, let me get up closer to it if I can, is a shooting star or Mexican hat. I think there's other names for it too, but it's a cute, it's prairie coneflower is the other name, where it's like a tiny little wild coneflower that I really enjoy it. Some of them are yellow and some of them are burnt orange brown. And then this little pot right back here is one that I redid, totally took everything out, put new dirt, and has new plants in it. This is a Alabama Sunset Coleus, and that right in front there is it's a double blooming purslane moss, and I wish it were blooming for you this morning so you could see how pretty it is, but I'm sure I will get it on here at some point. And then this little girl right here, I finished her little pot up, and I found this pretty little petunia at Horse Creek Nursery and fixed this pot up. It also has a little pinta there in the back, and then on the other side of her she's got a bright pink geranium. So this pinta, I love the pintas because they draw in the butterflies. Anything with little tiny flowers at the top that are in a cluster that look like one big flower that are made up of lots of tiny flowers, the butterflies just really love that. So I'm going to try to go back around to the other side of this little, well, I call it the front of my backyard, because I'm just now getting all the pots on it filled in, or at least with something in them. And I also, we had an old one here, and it just finally dilapidated to the point that even I said it's got to go. But it was a little bit smaller than our old one, and so this area had to be filled back in. So I just kind of clustered up several of my pots here, and that's where I put those hibiscus I was telling you about. I'm not sure. I think they get enough sun here, but if they don't, I'll move those. But my brother gave me this it's actually a quilt rack, but I'm hoping it will do well here too. It's looking good right now for me. I had to lower my little pots a little bit here in the back because of the canopy on this one. I couldn't couldn't see those, so I like to be able to see everything. This is the other pot that I did here in the front part of the backyard, and it already had this cactus from last year. You can see it's got little ones coming on it, and then it's got this pretty little succulent from last year, and I added just 3 petunias, and if you can tell, look, there's a clematis blooming. So we got, let's see if I think there's a little bit more around here. This one, I just added a seed, I believe, and then this is this little thundercloud sedum that's just as pretty as it can be. It's just tiny, so it fits a sedum that'll fit in their tiny places that you have. There's a little caterpillar on that. Probably be a butterfly one day, although I do have some destructive little insects out here too. I was going to show you this one. This is one of the ones I just got fixed, and I put the fan flower in there. Isn't that pretty? Looks just like a little fan you would pick up and fan yourself with in church. This is one that I got in the mail, and it actually got kind of, well, when they're wet, and it's I don't know how people ever do it to send them in the mail, but because if they're dry, they dry out, and if they're wet, they have a tendency to rot. So this is a silver sage, though, and if it comes out of it and begins to really look pretty, you will just really love that too. Or I certainly will. One of my favorite plants. It's just a little fuzzy leaf, but it's just really showy. And then I didn't put anything in this one other than what was already in it. It's got cosmos and this celosia, this burgundy celosia that lights up in the sun. Like if it hits it just right, it looks just as red can be. And I already had stuff in this little pot too, so I guess that's all here on the front. So we got this one lined out, and it is looking good, and I'm feeling good about it. So here's a pretty verbascum, which I'm hoping does not get to be a invasive problem, because right now I'm loving it. I just get up here and take a shot back, because this is where I've been working the most lately, is getting this front part of the garden, the backyard garden, looking good, or filled out where it can get a chance to look good later. I'm going to have to trim this little bush back a bit because it's in my pathway, which that's a whole nother story that I need to do a pathway, but I have something in mind, and I'm not doing one until I can try to get it done. I love that this came up together. I didn't think about putting them together, but God did. So there you go, that pretty yellow verbascum and that beautiful bright larkspur, and they just look so good together. Oh look, I left my knife out last night. I'm going to have my garden knife. I worked until dark again, but this is my new bog garden, and hopefully it will do well there. It looks like I already need to put some more water. I didn't put enough in it last night. It was so late to get it soaked in good, but I did end up having more plants than I could fit in the other one. I knew I was going to need to get a new one if I was going to put very many more water
or bog plants in. My neighbor's chickens are telling you good morning. Look at this pretty little daylily. Oh, some of those I was telling you about, the Mexican hat or prairie coneflower, and some of them are actually blooming out here, so I can show you one in bloom. There they are, and they're just a pretty little filler plant. And they have this pretty little brownish bloom, or else just a lemon yellow bloom. Those are the only two I've seen. There's also one that likes moisture, and it is pink. So I did try to plant. I planted one of those. I'm going to try that, and I hope it will do well for me too. And I'll get to see what it looks like, and I'll get to show you what it looks like. So look at this pretty little ghost honeysuckle vine this morning. Looking good. There's the geraniums. They're already so tall. They've got the little fairies hidden in this one and in this one. So I need to either cut those back or get me some taller. This one probably just doesn't get quite as much sun, and it's not quite as tall. But I'll need to get me some taller plant stands for them if I can. That's what I'm hoping to be able to do. And this one I put a mauve pink little Angelonia. Here's my other bog garden, and you can see it's just too full already. But I do like the Siberian iris and the Japanese iris that take the wetter soil. So actually that's about it for the new stuff. It's this pretty little clematis coming up here. Isn't that pretty? I love that dark color. These are still looking good. I love this pretty pink. And my clematis, the president, is looking really good right now too. Glad I caught those old roly-polies at the end of it, at the root of it there before they destroyed it, because it was just drooping. I couldn't figure out why, but I finally got to where I could just really take a good look at it, and I figured out why. But it's looking good now, so that's That's wonderful. And then I put a geranium, a red geranium, in this little pot, and it matches really well with this pretty little red stem neon lights charred. And then there's a little coleus right there by the angel. Looks like this little larkspur is winding down, but it was pretty there. It's really cute. I may have to put something else there eventually. I got some McKinney giant columbine seeds, and I haven't even planted them. They are perennial, though. I may go ahead and plant them so they'll be there for next year. I'm not sure. They may still come up this year, but as you can tell, this one's been there for a while, and it's waning down too. So and there's some more of the pretty Indian blanket flower. This little pot I need to redo, or not redo necessarily, but put a little bit more in there, or just put some seeds in there. I've planted quite a few seeds now, not nearly as many as I would like to. I still like to do some tall zinnias, and actually some more in the pots too. I've got some in the pots, so I feel better about that. And I also planted a few more trailings. Purple splash peppers, and I love those. They're so pretty. I don't think there is a prettier trailing plant than a purple splash pepper, because they actually have white and purple and just dark, almost black leaves on it, and they trail right down on the pot, and just so pretty. This pretty little rose over here is looking good this morning too, as is my beautiful candy cane verbena. It's not all filled out yet. This side's not filled out, but this side over here is really looking good. I could get it focused in where you can see that pretty little candy cane color. Here's some of the roses that those bloom bugs or beetle has just destroyed. Look, there's one on it this morning. My hand has gone to sleep and I can't get my camera to work well. But there's one of them. These things, I've got to get out here and spray for those, because they're just going to destroy these totally. And I can't keep them just picked off. And not only are they this beetle, but they also fly. And there's that other little culprit. It also flies. But those are the ones that will definitely kill your blooms. They're going to just eat them till they look like this before their time. I know they don't last long anyway, but they last longer and are prettier than what they are right now because of those bugs. Anyway, I'll get to that as soon as I can. I'm not really sure when I'll get to it though. And then this pretty little rose bush. This is probably the prettiest it'll be this season, even though it'll bloom some occasionally. This is its main full bloom. And we're back to this pretty little coral rose. It's the only one of my roses that I originally got that stayed at its original color and didn't go back to the old roses, but it tried, so I don't know if I've got it stopped or if it'll go back or what, but I mean, I hope it'll stay. There's the old rose one, which is nice too. It's a pretty rose. I like it. I just don't want it. I just don't want to have like 6 of them. I want different colored ones. But that's the morning walk around the garden. Thank you for enjoying it with me. My hand's still asleep. I can't get it closed off.
The Second Epistle of John, 1-13. The elder unto the elect lady and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not I only, but also all they that have known the truth, for the truth's sake, which dwelleth in us, and shall be with us forever. Grace be with you, mercy and peace, from God the Father, and from the Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, in truth and love. I rejoiced greatly that I found of thy children walking in truth, as we have received a commandment from the Father. And now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I wrote a new commandment unto thee, but that which we had from the beginning, that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. Look to yourselves, that we lose not those things which we have wrought, but that we receive a full reward. Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you, and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds. Having many things to write unto you, I would not write with paper and ink, but I trust to come unto you and speak face to face, that our joy may be full. The children of the elect sister greet thee.